guys. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, all my beautiful empaths and amazing sensitives. When I say empath, that does include psychic empath, but good morning. It is, what is today? I don't know what today is. Saturday, right? No. Today is Sunday. Wow, I lost today. And today is also Eric's dad's birthday. So we have a birthday in the house. Happy birthday. I'm going to take my meds real quick. I actually did sleep all the way in this morning. I was shocked. It very rarely happens. We've got our fireplace in the distance. And we've got our poopy over here. So good morning, guys. Yeah, but I actually slept all the way through. I slept until my alarm went off at 4:30. And I know I dozed off pretty early too. I went to bed earlier last night because I was up so early. Sorry. Do I feel refreshed? No, but I feel like I actually slept. So it very rarely happens that I sleep until my alarm goes off or past my alarm. It does not happen very often. So I'm gonna leave it open floor today. So I'm not gonna be focusing my energy on one specific person. I'm gonna focus with them to communicate with me, but I'm not gonna focus it on one specific person. Even though I deeply and truly feel that Shanann Rusak and her beautiful babies have not got the full justice that they need and deserve. I can't make every single one of these about her. So, and not only that, but it gives her a break, because I know there's a lot of people that tug on her and pull on her and want her attention. And so I don't want to be at her every single day. Or every single time we do one of these. So I just don't want to do that. You know, like us, when we're in the physical world, we get very, at least I do. I get my anxiety gets over. I get overwhelmed. My anxiety goes all over the place, and I get very frustrated and aggravated if I have somebody constantly pulling on my skirt tail. So just like, you know, just like the physical world, the spiritual world needs a break as well, once in a while. And they're not circus creatures. They don't, you know, respond on your command. And I think that's another thing too I'm going to talk about today, because not all of them, but about half of the paranormal investigation shows that I watch, and the debunkers of those paranormal investigators. Now, I have found some debunkers out there that were very good at what they do. They have that eagle eye. They spot a phony from a mile away. But this more so goes toward our investigators, especially early on when ghost investigating and ghost hunting and all that, which I hate that phrase, ghost hunting. You're not hunting them. They're not there for your bucking call. You don't hunt them. I'm sorry, but I've never liked that phrase. So, you know, investigators that go out and try to connect or try to see if a location is actually haunted and this, that, and the other. And there are haunted areas, don't get me wrong. Okay? I know all about that all too well. But there are investigators that go out, and I think that's why some of them feel they have to make it up, because, and I'm not bashing anybody, but I'm just going to put it out there, okay? Again, disclaimer, I have no filter. When you go and you falsify your experience, you're pushing everything back. You are ruining it all for everybody that actually have the ability to connect, that do believe in this sort of thing. Yes, they put in their video entertainment purposes. Get down, because you're but that everybody has that in their videos, okay? That doesn't classify it. That doesn't tell your viewers that it's not real. Okay? Entertainment and not real, two different things. But where I was going with that was, they're not animals. They do not do what you want them to do on your beck and call or your command. Just because you go into a location and you don't have any type of experience doesn't mean they're not there. They don't know what time it is, so it doesn't matter what time of day you do your investigations, okay? We don't wear a watch in the spiritual world. We could care less what time it is. There's no sense of time. There's absolutely no sense of time when you are on that side. So they don't care what time it is. Some are chatty Cathys, and they will show up anytime anybody visits, and they don't care who they are. And then you have some that are set in their ways. The spiritual world is a lot like the physical world. You have a lot that are set in their ways, that don't want to talk to anybody. Maybe they just want to rest, or maybe they have nothing to say at that moment. And then you have some that use the spirit talker, and just because the word doesn't, or the sentence doesn't make sense or go with what they asked, they chalk it up as being rubbish, that they're babbling. Everything that comes through that spirit talker has a purpose and has a meaning. It's up to you to decipher what that meaning is. Some spirits will be very clear and upfront. Hey, this is what I mean. Others don't have the full capacity nor energy to speak to you in a full sentence. And so when that happens, they will speak words that have a lot of meaning to them, that mean something. They will speak words that mean something, and they're not going to waste the energy they do have on nonsense. So, I mean, you know, I do get a little offended, and I do get a little upset when you'll have, for example, two different groups that investigate, and maybe one group will go out and they have a very active night or day or whatever time that they went out. And then you'll have another group go out and they'll get maybe one or two things happening. Spirits are not your pets. They're not going to respond on command, okay? They respond when they want to. And they don't always respond. You may, again, like I said, you may have some that are chatty Cathys and like that attention and want to talk to somebody every time they're there. And then you may have those who don't really want to say anything. Maybe they'll throw you a bone here or there just to keep you quiet. But other than that, they don't feel like talking. And it takes energy. Just like in the physical world, you have to have energy. Well, you have to have energy in the spiritual world as well. I'm going to grab my vitamins while I'm at it, because it is time. This is normally when I would take my meds. So it's after 5 o'clock already. I don't know if you can see it. 5:03. Buddy, it's not breakfast time yet. You just had your cookie. You're going to wait. No. What is wrong with you? Get over here. Blanket. 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 Thank you. Alright, I'm gonna get situated myself here. I'm gonna, I'll just see. It's a spirit talker. And it's loading up. Okay. I haven't turned it on yet, still off. Okay. Oh. Snarty watch. Okay. All right. So, also too, I don't have any fancy setup. Maybe later on we'll get one of those, but I spend a lot of time in my bed because of my disability. And so this is where we'll be until, you know, don't mind my fat rolls. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get situated here. Coffee. And we're gonna try not to dump this in there this time. All right, so we're gonna turn this on. All right, before I do so, this is my protective shield. This is my boundaries. I'm setting my boundaries when I do this. When I put up that shield in front of me, it is my protective shield. It is my boundaries. I only invite light, love, pure intention, true intention. All the nasty and ugly and dark and impure attention, foul, disgusting, you can stay back. You can stay away. Okay? All right. So, I am leaving the floor open this morning for any pure intention, pure love, light, good spirit wants to come forward and speak with us today. And with that being said, I'm going to start Spirit Talker. And there's the ball going up and down. Oh, let me turn this down because it's going to be loud. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, so let's wait for our first word to come through. Good morning, spirits. Good morning, good morning. Is anybody here today that would like to speak with us? Now, this is the latest in the morning. Usually I'm ending my videos around this time. I've never came up at this time. So we'll see what kind of activity we get between then and this time during the day. We may get just nothing, or we may get a couple things. You just never know. Like I said, they're not creatures. They're not dogs. They don't, you know, they don't answer at your command. Okay. Is there anybody here that would like to speak with us this morning? Also, too, I would like to wish Dad Potter a happy birthday. Today is his birthday. And he's still kicking and empathy. All right, let me turn this down a little bit because that was loud. Empathy. Okay, what about empathy? Do you have it? Do you feel it? What about it? And who am I speaking with? May I get a name, please? beautiful, calming, relaxing fireplace going. The warmth of the glow and the crackle pop of the logs burning in the fireplace. Empathy. Okay. This could be somebody that I don't know who I'm speaking with this time, but I feel like it's a woman. I don't know why. I'm just feeling a woman's connection, a woman's spirit. I don't know if they're saying,
I've been following you.
I've been following you. I've gotten this before. Okay. Are you the one who announced this before that?
My name is Ethel.
Ooh, Spirit Talk was getting chatty. Well, good morning, Ethel. Welcome. Nice to meet you. Ethel, are you the one that's following me? I've been told on 2 occasions that my dad is my guardian angel. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've been told. I don't usually like to make it personal or about myself, but is that true? Ethel, are you the one that's been following me? Ethel could very well be my guardian. She could be my great. Okay, so is that an answer to what is that an answer to the statement I just made? Or is this pertaining to something else? And that's the thing too, guys. You gotta understand, like I said, they do not work on command, okay? You don't snap your fingers and they just start performing for you. They're not performing monkeys.
We don't mean harm.
We don't mean harm. I know you don't. Thank you. I appreciate that very, very much. They're not performing monkeys, okay? They're spirits. They once were in the physical world. They once were here, and many of them were here way before any of us were. So respect that. If they don't talk to you, don't get upset, okay? It's not... You have some investigators out there that are true, that are honest, that are pure, and that do an amazing job. Not very many, but... And then you have investigators out there that you know after... It doesn't take a genius to figure it out, and I don't claim to be a genius. But after watching maybe 1 or 2 of their videos, that it's not real, okay? And I'm not a debunker. I could get into all that, but that's not what I do here. But they're not circus monkeys, okay? They don't perform when you want them to. So we got Ethel. Ethel, are you the one that's following me, dear? And Ethel's an old name. That's an old name. Ethel. Great. Ethel. Jasper. I have a grandson named Jasper. Nice to meet you, Jasper. Let's not make this about me, please. When I said open floor, I did not mean my family, so please step back. Respect my boundaries. I don't want to... If I do something like this with my loved ones who have passed, it will not be on video. Okay? I'm just letting you know. I have to keep some of my life private. And I need to remember that there are people still sleeping, so not to talk so loud. Nice to meet you, Jasper. I still like to know who it was that said I, so meaning one, been following you. And then it said, my name is Ethel. So Ethel could be the one that's following me. Great. Great could mean anything.
My whole life was here.
My whole life was here. Do you mean where I am at, in the location that I am at, or my whole life was here? Jasper, is this you that we're speaking with? So we have empathy, or it's also pronounced empathy. I've been following you. My name is Ethel. Great. We don't mean harm. Jasper, and my whole life was here. Again, like I've told you guys before, I believe sometimes that when you get a name and then you get a couple of sentences or even a couple of words, I feel like that's them communicating. And then there's also another thing I believe is that the spirit world doesn't take turns. I don't believe they're all trying to get heard. They're all trying to get...
Are you an investigator?
No. No, I'm not. I am somebody who just has a gift and who taps into her gift every once in a while just to reconnect. I am not an investigator. However, I do tape myself doing this. So I wouldn't consider myself an investigator. I just want to communicate. I'm just here to communicate with whomever, as long as you are good, love, light, pure intention, true intention. That's all. I am not an investigator. And you know, it's kind of sad that our spirits of when people do this, and I'm not the only one that's ever had this question asked. This, I think, is twice that I've had this question asked to me. It's kind of sad because I feel like spirits that ask that question are ones that have been investigated. And it's sad that they know to ask that question. Are you an investigator? That's why I said, you know, and people, because people don't, I'm not going to say, when I was younger, in my 20s. Fight. Okay, well, we're not going to fight. We're not going to be aggressive. We're not going to be mean. We're going to respect each other. We're going to be kind to one another. And we're just going to communicate. We're just going to have a visit. That's all. When I was younger, in my 20s, my cousin and I thought it would be cool to, and me being an empath, that was one thing I should have never done. But back then, I knew that I had a gift, but I didn't tune into it like I should have been. I kind of was trying to ignore it, and I thought that ignoring it, it would make it go away. It doesn't. Okay, and it was me ignoring a gift that I was given. And, you know, it's just whatever, but
I was treated well.
I was treated well. Well, that makes me happy to hear. I am very glad to hear that. Who is it that I'm speaking with? Is this Jasper or is this Ethel? That said they were treated well. But my cousin and I thought it would be fun to mess with a Ouija board. And I'm going to tell you, they are real. It is not a toy. It should never be labeled as a toy, because this is how stupidity gets started. The Ouija board is not a toy, but if you go into, and a lot of places don't sell it. Certain stores will sell it, but there are a lot of places that don't. But when they first came out, and when they first became really popular, was in the late 80s, early 90s.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. That is an old name. Well, hello, Jeremiah. Nice to meet you. So my cousin and I decided that it would be not fun, not cool, but interesting. We wanted to see if it was actually, you know, if it had any type of power or anything behind it. I'm gonna tell you, and I don't know if it's because maybe myself being an empath and a psychic empath and a sensitive, if I drew it to the board, I don't know. But it is not a toy, and I got rid of it very quickly. My youngest daughter was 2 years old, and she started having nightmares. And she's actually, take that back, she wasn't 2. Yeah, she was 2 or about to be 2. And she was having nightmares. And after that, and my youngest is also a sensitive as well. Both of my girls have abilities, but my second, I have three daughters. My second daughter does not tap into her ability. She pushes it away, and she tries to suppress it.
Scarlet.
Hello, Scarlett. Nice to meet you. My second daughter, she has the ability to see shadow people. My youngest daughter actually can see a spirit. Some children have the ability to, like myself, to have it their whole life. And there are other children that grow out of it after a certain age. So I'm not sure if my youngest is still able to see. She doesn't really talk about it. Neither one of them do, but I have a feeling that my second oldest, she still has the ability. She just, like I said, I don't know if they're afraid of it. I don't know if they just, and it's not, and you hear so many closet. I am looking right at my closet. It's right in front of me. What about the closet? Is it, no, again, they could be talking about what I'm talking about, where my children keep it suppressed, push it away, keep it hidden, don't talk about it, or they could be actually talking about my closet. What about the closet? Is this Scarlet? We got a lot of names. We got Ethel, Jasper, Jeremiah, Scarlet. All old names, very old names. Like I'm going to say that the spirits I'm talking to, and I have a tendency to attract things from the 1800s, the early 1900s. Like I don't know. I don't know if I have somewhat of an old spirit myself, but that's what I attract a lot of. And I feel like these spirits that came forward are either from the 1800s or maybe early 1900s. They're very old names. They're like old, these are names that you don't hear. Jasper, yeah, you still hear Jasper, but Ethel, Jeremiah, Scarlet, those are names that you don't hear now. So I feel like they're very old spirits. Am I correct? Glenn. Okay. Glenn's a newer name. Hello, Glenn. Nice to meet you. But I have a tendency to attract either very young spirits, like, and when I say young, it's ones that haven't been in the spiritual world for very long, or old spirits. And when I say old spirits, it's 1800s, early 1900s, even maybe back as far as the 16 or 1700s. So I attract those eras for some reason. I don't know why. It could be because, like I've mentioned before, I feel like this is my third life that I've lived. And I feel like the first life I lived was in the 1800s. I don't know exactly when, but I know it was the 1800s. And the second was 1950s. So I feel like Glenn is probably a younger spirit. I don't feel like that's a very old spirit. If I had to put Glenn in an era of time, I'm going to say, oh, maybe the 60s, maybe 50s, but 60s, 70 era. And that's the 1900s when I say that. And obviously Scarlet, Jeremiah, I'm going to say 1800s. Brother. Okay. I don't know. Brother, that could be anything. That could mean maybe one of the spirits was saying that Glenn is their brother. Or this could be Glenn, who, again, is a younger spirit. And maybe he doesn't have a lot of energy to form. I feel like spirits that have been around longer have that energy to speak a full sentence or have the ability to make a sound when you ask for it, or have the ability to even have the energy to show themselves, whether that be in a shadow or a apparition. Excuse me.
Around.
Okay. Who am I speaking with at this time? Please give me your name. Please let me know who I'm speaking with so I can address you appropriately. This is definitely a author. Arthur is an older name. Well, hello, Arthur. Nice to meet you. If I had to guess who was speaking the full sentences instead of the one-word sentences, if I had to take a guess on who that, I'm going to say it was either Ethel and Jasper. Jasper and Ethel are older spirits, and they have more energy to speak a full sentence. I feel like a newer spirit that maybe is just starting to tap into the physical world. They don't have that energy. They don't have the ability to speak a full sentence. Also, too, I also feel like, and I've said this before, that one-worded sentences, like one words, in some cases, that could be the one thing that is important to them that they feel that they need you to hear. So we have Arthur. Arthur, see, is an older name. I'm going to say Arthur is probably from the 50 era. So Arthur, go left. Okay, well, the left of me is my television and the door. We're not going for a walk this morning, if that's what you're asking. So is this Arthur I'm speaking with? So we got a couple younger names. We got a couple of younger spirits. So like I said, I believe that Glenn is a younger spirit. Glenn and Arthur both are pretty young spirits. The name, you can always, for me, if you go based off a name, unless you have a name that is handed down to you from generation to generation, like, there are some fathers who will name their firstborn son after them. There are some mothers.
Are you too scared?
With a question mark. No, I'm not too scared. I'm just not going to walk. It asked me to go left, and then it asked me, or it told me, didn't ask me. It told me to go left and then go deeper.
Go deeper.
Okay. You're a little demanding, and I don't like that. So if you want me to have a conversation with you, then you're going to ask me nicely. If I tell you no, then we leave it at that. No. Is that understood? I don't take two commands. Okay? You can have a nice conversation, and we can talk to each other respectively. My foot's falling asleep. So we have, and as we get more words, the other words will go away. So they don't go away, but they go into the file. So you have Jasper. My whole life was here. That could have been Jasper telling us that his whole life was here. It also could have been him asking me if I'm an investigator.
Warmth.
Let's see. Fight. I was treated well. Jeremiah, Scarlet, Closet, Glenn, brother, around, Arthur, go left. Are you scared? With a question mark, which is not very often that you get a response with a question mark. So that's a very intelligent spirit. That is one that has probably been around for a while. And I'm gonna say, if I had to guess who that was that asked me if I was scared, I'm gonna say it was probably Glenn. Glenn to me feels like he is the sarcastic, always has an answer for everything type of spirit. I don't know why, but that's just what I'm getting from a sense of from him. And then go deeper in warmth. So yeah, I feel like Glenn was kind of like the class clown. I feel like Glenn was probably one who... Brown eyes. This could be them. Brown eyes. This could be them letting me know what they look like. Or are they asking me if I have brown? I do not have brown eyes. I have hazel. My eyes are hazel. But I feel like Glenn was a class clown. I don't know why. I just get that from him. Scarlet, she was very prim, very proper. Jeremiah was probably... Jeremiah is an old Southern name. He was probably very... I'm going to say based off the name and the feeling I'm getting from it when I say his name, Jeremiah did not life was hard for him. We'll put it that way. Life was hard for him. Scarlet, she was probably a very, like I said, very prim and proper. She probably came from a wealthy family. I keep seeing, like, when I say her name, my mind goes straight to a Victorian home, one of those big Victorian homes. That's where my mind goes. When I say Glenn's name, the first thing that comes to my mind. That's why I say the things I was saying. The first thing that comes to my mind when I say Glenn is a kid in either, I'm gonna say either
Demise.
middle school or middle school or high school grade average child, because I see a tall boy running around the classroom just being silly. Demise. And author, I feel like author was kind of like a, you know, all no playing around, just all business, just very, you know, stern and to the point, and you know. But I also feel like author had a soft side that he didn't let a lot of people see. That's just what I get when I say his name. Demise. And what do you mean by demise? Who am I speaking with, please? I'd like to address you properly. One other thing too, I was going to say when we got the question, if I was an investigator. Now, I am by no means poo-pooing on anyone's way of how they investigate. Affair. Okay. Affair. That can mean many things, but the minute it popped up, the first thing I thought of was affair. It's when you are, that is when you have a spouse, but yet you step outside that and you are messing with somebody else's spouse. Or an unmarried person. Doesn't necessarily have to be a married person, but the person who's married, that would be an affair. Or affair could be that's really the only definition for that word, affair. Okay. Demise, affair. Brown eyes, warmth. But okay, so by no means am I poo-pooing on anyone's way of how they investigate, okay? Or how they, we'll just say investigate. And I do have my window cracked, so you may hear some noise from outside. But I got these, the bluebird, the bluebird deck. I have read on some, but I haven't done a whole lot of homework with these yet. Betrayal. Oh, here we go. Affair, betrayal. All right. And you know, there are spirits that were betrayed. And again, just like the physical world, our problems don't all go away when we're in the spiritual world. And maybe they never had that closure. They didn't have that closure to vent. They didn't have that time to just mourn over what happened. So sick. Well, if you're talking about me, yes, I am. Or if you are talking about you, I am so sorry to hear that. Sometimes they'll ask questions in one word ways without the question mark or anything. You kind of have to, it could go either way. It could be them asking you, especially if what comes through pertains to you in any way. So it could be them asking you, or it could be them making a statement about themselves. So that's why I always will do it that way. Yes, I am. If it is me you are asking about, or if it is you are I am very sorry to hear. I'm very, very sorry to hear that you're sick. Can I have a name of who I'm speaking with, please? Also, too, I feel like it takes, because of the way some people, I don't like saying it like that, because of the way some practice being an investigator, there are some that will push the limits of investigating.
I was executed.
Oh, God. I am so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. Were you young when that happened to you? It's a male energy. It's male energy that I'm feeling right now. I was executed. This could go with the betrayal. Because you have to understand, guys, it's not like they take turns to talk. It's like when they have the energy to, you could ask a spirit a question, and it could be hours later that you get that your answer. It's not, again, I believe it's all about how much energy they have. And if they are spirits that don't necromancer, I have no idea what that means. Necromancer. Hey Siri. I don't think I have Siri activated on this phone. I did it on that one, but you guys are on it, so I can't ask it a question. Necromancer. I have no idea what that means. I have to get Siri activated on this phone. It is, but I have to push the button. Where on my newer iPhone, because this is like one of the first iPhones to ever come out. But on my newer iPhone, I don't have to push a button. I just say it and it'll pop up. But excuse me, while I'm doing a video, I don't think it will. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Yeah, see. Curse. Well, we are getting dark now. Okay, I don't like to get dark. I don't like to have, I have to bring my voice down. I'm getting too loud. I don't like to get dark with my conversation. I do not have a problem with talking with you and maybe helping you. But if there is a spiteful spirit in the group that has other ideas about this visit, about this conversation, you can leave. Okay? If this is somebody that is coming forward to explain to us what happened to them, that is fine. Necromancer. I have never heard. We're gonna have to look that up, and I wish I could look it up. And it could very well be the spirit telling me that's what it means, but we'll find out, right? I'm gonna look it up, and if it mentions the word curse in there, I'm gonna flip my lid. Because that means that spirit was explaining to me what that meant. Okay. They still haven't given me a name of who it was I was speaking with. But again, guys, and I understand that I get it, because for some reason, left. There we go again with the left. Okay, this is the second time it's mentioned the left. This is my left. What about the left? It's either left or somebody left. So again, that could go two ways. But guys, I get it that when you're out doing an investigation, you go out with high hopes that something happens, and that's great. Okay, that's wonderful. But let me say this, guys. And there are some of you that have admitted that if you don't get anything during your investigation, you do not post that video. Why is my question. I feel like and I'm again, I feel like I have to keep saying this because I don't want anybody thinking that I am bashing their creativity, their content. You know, I'm not bashing anybody for anything, but let me, as somebody who, and I do view a lot of your channels, so I would think that this would mean something coming from someone who watches your channel. And I'm not going to point fingers, I'm not going to say who, but just know that I watch a lot of investigating channels, okay? I want to see all of it, okay? I don't want, and I don't, because I know the spiritual world, I know how it works. I'm not one that comes up and goes, oh, well, every time I go to a place, it's going to be haunted. Threatening. What is threatening? And they could be tapping into the conversation I'm having here. What is threatening? Who's feeling threatened? Who's feeling the
Stomach problems.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot of stomach problems. Or you have stomach problems as well. Who am I speaking with? Can I have a name? That way I can address you properly, please. But what I'm saying, guys, is don't, and this goes for everybody. This goes for the ones that go out there and do the, I watch the camping. I watch the Urbex camping. I watch all of that. And there are some of you that will post regardless on what happened to you. Keep doing that, okay? And then there are some that only post things if things happened. Why? You are giving everybody false pretense when you do that. Be honest, be truth. Be authentic, be genuine. I want to see your trip whether or not anything happened or not. Because husband. Okay. This could be someone telling me, this could be someone sharing part of their life with me. I want to go back through my names and see. The last word we just got was husband. My names are gone. I don't remember. Oh, my foot's falling asleep again. We had Scarlett and Ethel, right? Those were the only female names that came through. Okay, husband, stomach problems, threatening, left, curse, necromancer. Anyone knows what that word is? Let me know, please. Shield. Yes, I do have a shield. I have a shield that protects me from the nasty spirits out there. Oh, my foot keeps falling asleep.
Mental.
I have to say, our conversation this morning has been very not happy. Hold on, guys. My foot is falling asleep. Our conversation has been very, I'm right here. I'm just standing up and letting my foot. keeps falling asleep. Our conversation's not been a very positive one this morning, has it, guys? They gave us some names, which was nice. Bubby, I'm not going nowhere. I'm just standing up for a minute. Mom's book keeps falling asleep. They gave us some names, which was nice. Mental, shield, husband. Now, husband and shield, this could mean that maybe whoever's coming through, her husband was in law enforcement or some sort of government, some sort of government program or agency or something. I know police officers, their badge, they call them shields.
We're here to help.
We're here to help. Well, thank you. We're here to help. Who is we? If you're here to help, I need a name so I can adjust you, so I can talk to you, and it's always nice to have a name. So this could be somebody talking about her husband, shield, mental. We're here to help. I would like to have a name, please, so I can address you appropriately. They're being stubborn. What I mean by that is they're refusing to give me a name. They're probably like, we already told you our names. For you that are coming through now, who am I speaking with? Please, I would like to address you properly. I would like to know who's talking. I have not introduced myself yet. The dead.
The dead.
Well, yeah, I am aware of that. I feel like we have a sarcastic one in the house. I'm aware of that, but even in the spiritual world, you have a name. It says we're here to help, and then the dead. So that could have been one full sentence, but they didn't have the full energy or full capacity to say it all at one time. Or I did ask for a name, and the dead. You want me to address you as the dead? I refuse to do that. I refuse to address the spiritual world as the dead. That is what you are. That is not who you are. There's a difference. You have a name that your parents gave you a long time ago. And even in the spiritual,
You are strong.
You are strong. Well, thank you. I try. But I would still like to have a name, please. And don't refer to yourself as the dead. That's not your name. But no, I wanna do some. My great-great-grandmother was a witch. And I don't like to use that word, but that's what she was. My great-great-grandmother was a witch. She could levitate things. She had the ability to levitate. She also, I believe, did read the cards. So this isn't something that
Soon.
Okay, so that could go with anything. I did ask for a name and it did say maybe that's what they're speaking about soon. That they'll give me their name soon. But my great grandmother, and this is how the family referred to her, so maybe she even referred to herself this way, was a witch. The abilities I have are not the same as, sorry, that was me fixing my blanket. The abilities I have run through the female side of the family. So there's quite a few of the females in my family, in my bloodline, that on my mother's side, that have some sort of gift. Not all of us do, but some of us do. I feel like the more the maternal side of the family, meaning that would have been my grandmother. I feel like it comes from her side. So I don't know. There's some of us, and I've passed it down to my daughters. And people that have a gift are born.
I know you.
I know you. You do you? Okay. If you know me, what is my name? Remember, I have not introduced myself. You say you know me, so what is my name? People that have certain gifts were born with a veil. And it's not nothing bad. It's not a sin. It's a gift. You're probably going to hear Patch. She's out of cat food, and they need to go get her son. You said you know me. If you know me, what is my name? I would like to know your name. Shh, Patches, hush.
You are respected.
You are respected. Well, thank you. And you are respected as well. But yeah, so I want to do my homework. And like I said, there's a little book that comes with these. This is the brand that I got. And I got these because there's a channel I watch. It's Sage. S-A-J-E. Hold on a second, please. Can you stop that, please? Thank you. She reads cards, and these are the ones that she uses. And I've been wanting to learn to read cards. Don't even think about it. And so when I started watching her, I like this format because, hold on a second, please. Go. Sorry. I got these because I like the format. I like, they're easy to read. They're not intimidating. They're very, and the format of them is, stop it!
She was hung.
She was hung. My goodness. Okay. Who? Who was hung? I don't, body.
Body.
We were just talking about witches, weren't we? My great-great-grandmother was not hung. But, you know, back in the, what, 1700s, early 1800s even, or maybe even further back, 1700s. Anybody that had a gift, they thought was evil. They thought was just, it was a sin. They thought that, you know, they were a witch and they're going to do bad things. And grant you, there are people that do bad things. But, no. Well, I am sorry, whoever this was.
Collapse.
Collapse. What's going to collapse? I would love to know who I'm speaking with. If you could give me a name, that would be amazing. You know, sometimes they don't give you their name because they don't trust you. Again, just like in life, you know, the spirits have to, you have to earn their trust. And I have a couple that have come through all the time. They haven't came through today.
Equipment.
You're gonna collapse my equipment? Don't do that, please. That's not nice. Or are you telling me that there's equipment going to collapse? Sometimes they come through with a warning. I feel like this is somebody telling me, giving me a warning of some kind. There's two, I feel like there's two conversations going on here. I feel like there's one that they say they know me. I feel like they are a male energy. I feel like it's a male energy that said they know me. I don't know why. When I first said it, I thought it felt female, but I'm going through and I'm reading, I'm putting words together that make sense.
My body is close by.
My body is close by. Okay. There are cemeteries around here. My body is close by. Collapsed equipment. My body is close by. Maybe, you know. This is the thing, people. It's like, I can't force. Oh, we're already over an hour, so we're gonna have to end this. I can't force you all to believe anything, okay? I can't. Y'all are gonna believe what you want to believe. We have some believers out there, we have some non-believers out there, and then we have some that just, they want to know more before they make that decision. And that's totally fine. However, I know what I know. Okay? So whether you say you don't believe or you do believe, demise.
Demise.
That's twice it came through. Bobby, watch the stand, please. Demise came through twice. Whether, regardless, and I'm not asking you to give me an answer. I'm not asking you to tell me. But if you did, if you came to me and said, I believe, I don't believe, I'm not sure, that is your opinion, number one. But regardless if you did that or not, it's still not going to change who I am. So just by you disbelieving doesn't change who I am. Okay? That's you cutting yourself off and you know,
Miscarriage.
miscarriage. Okay. All right. It's getting really deep and medieval. It's getting very deep, this conversation. There's two conversations going on here, and there's a couple words I have to look up that I don't know. Medieval. Not quite sure what that means. If anyone knows what medieval means, please let me know in the comments. But anyway, we're going to end this because we're already at our hour, over an hour, and YouTube takes forever for videos to upload. I don't know what its problem is, but get it together, YouTube. All right, guys. So, spirits, I want to thank you for coming through and speaking with us this morning. Thank you for your conversation. Thank you for taking the time to come forward. Thank you for coming forward. Thank you for speaking with us. Investigate. Earlier it asked me if I was one. It could be telling me to investigate something. Thank you for coming through, spirits. Thank you for speaking with us this morning. Thank you. I want to thank the ones that came forward and gave me their name. What was it? Ethel and Arthur and Glenn and Scarlett and Jemiah. And thank you, all of you, for coming through this morning. So when I shut off this, when I end this conversation, that means that you are to leave. You are not to stay. You are not to linger. When the conversation ends, then you are to go. Okay? So I want to thank you all for coming through this morning. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me this morning. And I am ending the conversation. And with that, you need to go. You are not to linger. You are not to stay. I'm sending you away with love, light, purity, gentle hugs to all of my spirits. And with that being said, we are going to shut it down now. And there's a couple of words that came through this morning that I have to look up. All right, guys. So thank you all for watching. Again, you know, I'm not making anything up. I am as pure and as true and as real as I get. I'm very authentic, and I don't sugarcoat anything. So, you know, I have my opinions and my views just like everybody else. This is a gift that I was born with. This is a gift that has been with me since I can remember. I mean, I have memories that go back in my infancy times, and I'm not making it up. I would say you could ask my mom, but she's over there in the urn, so you can't ask her. But there were things that I confronted my mom with, and I thought they were reoccurring nightmares. I thought they were reoccurring dreams, and that's how they came to me. They came to me in flashes. They came to me in dreams, but the reality of it was it actually happened, and that was me in that dream. So I'm just saying. But I don't know. Maybe you're not quite sure. And again, I'm not here to push my gift onto you. I'm not here to make you believe things you don't want to believe. I'm just here sharing my gift. That's all. That's it. I'm not here to force you to do anything. So I love you guys. Have a great day, and we will talk again very soon. Until then, love, light, and nothing but positive energy and positive vibes. I'll talk to y'all guys soon. Ciao for now. Bye.